This is not me being late to the party. This is the fact that I've been delaying seeing this video. I've seen this video popped up some time ago, and I have just been delaying seeing it because I've read the title, so let's see.
Really matters. All gotcha, all the time, all ephemeral, all salacious. You're right. Too much heat, not enough light.
What? That was just word salad right there. I had no idea what he was saying. Too much heat, not enough light? What does that mean? What light? Do you mean the truth?
TikTok will strike stuff where people are openly talking about being happy someone's dead. There's plenty of it. Now, many will shake their head and say, the furious few, keyboard bullies. More proof social media is toxic.
No, I don't see anybody saying that about this. People are saying social media is toxic, yes, but not about this. I don't know what this guy is making up.
Okay, but I see it as much bigger, badder.
How do I say this? Politely. Saying the truth, venting your frustration, is a bit uncouth, but not toxic.
Especially because the rabid response to the CEO killing is not an...
I'm sorry, the rabid response? He just called us all dogs. I hope if you're ever watching this, and you hear this guy have just called us all dogs. Rabid animals. Because apparently that's what he thinks we are.
An isolated event. It is the third flashpoint evincing a pattern. October 7th, Trump's assassination attempt, and now the United Healthcare CEO assassination. All three were not just suggestive of rampant rudeness, departure from the accepted principle here that we remain humane no matter what matter of inhumanity is confronted. Otherwise, what separates the virtue from the vice, the good from the evil?
That is just not true. Okay? That's just not true. Apparently, this guy has never heard of the phrase, all it takes for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Okay? I am as much of a pacifist as the next guy. But if I see evil, unspeakable evil being performed in front of me, at some point, that crosses the moral bottom line to where I go, I cannot just stand here and do nothing. And I hope you are that way too, right? If you see somebody being, victimized by some sort of unspeakable evil acts, I hope that you act. And not just stand by like this guy is saying. Because apparently good and evil has this distinction where if you do anything that's slightly out of line, you're evil.
The reactions we have seen are signs that many have lost the plot of how things change in a constitutional republic. We have entered the era in America of an acceptance of violence as a legitimate way to change systems or policies. What is being defined as the oppressor. We have a word for that in the law. When violence is embraced as an accepted means for political or regime change, that is called terrorism.
Only if you lose, people. Only if you lose. If you win, it's called revolution. While it's happening, it's called rebellion. But if you lose, then it becomes terrorism.
Celebrating the CEO's death are embracing terrorism, like those saying Israelis got what they deserve on October 7th. Not in terror camps, on our campuses, they're saying it. Here, those seeing Hamas terrorists as freedom fighters.
Why is this guy dragging this in? Totally two separate issues. totally, completely different.
Baffled at first, right? We were. How could people be so confused?
Also, these people are protesting. They're not committing terrorism. It's part of the Constitution.
But maybe they're not confused at all. Maybe they see Hamas as the good guys because they themselves embrace the fundamentalism and terrorism.
The fundamentalism of what? Not bombing children to death? What fundamentalism is there in stopping a war? Because I'm pretty sure that's what these people want, is to stop a war.
I even noticed pro-Palestine accounts celebrating the CEO's assassination. Same with when Trump was shot. How could people pretend it was fake or lament that he lived? Many on the left keep warning there are signs of Christian fundamentalism in Trump's speeches and cabinet picks. Okay. And what Trump's rally at MSG was really about was a Nazi dog whistle. And now we've crossed the line. Why exaggerate like that when the truth is enough for political scrutiny and disqualification of Trump? Because it's not just about winning. Making Trump Hitler is necessary to raise the stakes to what is worth killing for.
Again, totally separate issues. Totally separate political. This is not a political issue. This is not a policy issue. What is this guy on?
Blaming all insurers for being mass murderers, all Jews, greedy killers who control the media.
Literally no one on social media is saying that. Insane. You're insane.
Have to go big to justify the ultimate rejection. This is an old problem, really old. It's why a Roman emperor dealt with the seething cries for payback among his council by issuing a truth that is echoed through the ages for the best revenge. The best way to avenge yourself is to not become like them. Marcus Aurelius. This is virtue.
Yes, pulling out a quote from some dead guy thousands of years ago on a completely different issue is virtue. Can you try any harder?
Righteous. This is progress. This is Judeo-Christian ethic. This is Gandhi, Frederick Douglass, MLK, Jesus.
Want to bring any more people in? How about Oprah or Beyonce or Taylor Swift? All the saints in here.
The need for superhuman and super powerful messengers is because of how powerful a message they're up against. And we're seeing it now here, when it seems right that Jews get raped and killed and burned. And when I say that, look at the comments on my posts.
I did. Nobody is saying anything even close to that. What?
Who says it's fake? The numbers were exaggerated, that Israelis did it, or that, of course, this is what the oppressor gets from Americans.
As if I'm not listening to this from the oppressor's mouthpiece.
Notice how many felt the same about Trump. Hitler and Nazis who want to destroy the democracy, create a dictatorship. And now with the CEO. From the river to the sea, all the messages about the CEO only being the first. Suggestions, 1 million insurance employees should be killed.
Find me one video, one TikTok, I haven't seen anything, even remotely close. Find me one video where somebody wants all the employees to be killed. Where is he getting this from? Where is he getting this from? There's not a single thing on social media out there that says that any of the employees should be dead.
They're all part of it, right? Like the Jews, like the maggots.
Ooh, he just called Jews maggots.
The derisive way of describing Trump vote.
You call them
Other
that.
freaks. It's all the same expression of extremism, of fundamentalist beliefs we usually associate with who? Islamist animals.
I'm sorry, calling TikToker dogs, calling Jews maggots, and now we call Muslims animals? I need a moment. I need a moment.
Now, why am I conflating the aggressions of the Latrans and the CEO? Why am I conflating it all? Because we don't have Democrats or Republicans like we did. The fringe minorities of each haven't just been magnified by social media. They're not just magnified minorities, they become force multiplied in calling for extreme notions of change, and worse, how change should be made.
How should we change the insurance industry? Well, I mean, we should stop scamming people. We should treat people like basic, decent human being. I mean, talk about radical changes.
Ask Iranian refugees how they went from a free society to a rancid regime in charge now.
What? I am convinced that Chris Cuomo does not have a filter. Whatever his brain is thinking, whatever word salad is up in that skull, which, by the way, I feel like that hairline is receding. I'm convinced that he does not have a filter, and that whatever word salad is up in there is just spewing out nonsensically.
Why is that space in some independent media so insistent on telling you anything but them cannot be believed? And then what they want you to believe are conspiracies that do.
Fringe minorities get magnified on social media. I feel like that's a good thing. Or maybe I'm wrong. So the idea here is that social media is giving a voice to people who are often left out or is outcast. The fringe, right? The outcast. Now they're given a platform and a voice to voice their opinion. And somehow this guy thinks that's bad. Because I'm guessing that he just wants the establishment and the mainstream to have their voice. But everyone else better shut the hell up, or else it's terrorism.
Do everything to compel you to reject everything about this country. To be replaced by what? I see it. We need to stop it. That's why I'm on the political party so much, to stop feeding their fringes for short-term advantage. Why I try to make conversation with opposing viewpoints.
Again, the fringes aren't some mass evil. Sometimes you need an outside-the-box voice. Why is that so hard?
To show there's so much more that we share than what some are trying to make worthy of us tearing ourselves apart. To cheer for the assassination of a businessman. To wish your president had been shot in the head. To feel good about Jews being slaughtered on October 7th.
If I have to repeat the word, literally nobody said that one more time.
There is something going on here that has happened in other places, and it leads one way, away from freedom and toward fundamentalist, violent extremism.
So you hear it here first, people. TikTok will create jihadist rule. There you go. That's what this guy is saying. You believe it?
So, but for me, it's all about why. Now, the reporting that's newest, police believe.
What do you mean, why? This is bullshit. Even a 3-year-old know why. Isn't he on social media? Okay, well, you take a look down at the comment section and just everybody's blasting him to hell. As they rightfully should. Denying care to people is violence. Yes, That's right. Choosing profit over people is extremism. Everybody's saying he's out of touch, defending the corrupt CEO. You lost me, buddy. You were just part of the problem. That's funny. Get off your high horse. Must be cold in that ivory tower. Well, that's the end of that video. Can't say I'm surprised. Can't say I'm surprised. This is the stance of a lot of these media company, and it's not going to change. I love how Chris is calling this guy just a businessman. Can you imagine that? Just a businessman? Can you imagine? Insurance is a really special product. It's an invisible, intangible product that doesn't exist until you need it. Right? Think about that for a second. It's a product that doesn't exist until you need it. And most people don't want to need it because most people don't want to get sick or injured or ill or die. So, can you imagine walking into a store and somebody offers to sell you an invisible product that doesn't exist, that you have to pay constantly every month for the rest of your life, that may or may not exist when you actually need it, depending on the mood of whoever is in charge? Well, there's a lot of things that have already been said, and I won't need to say them anymore. It's absurd.